Okay, sir, what does a rotation at the Joint Readiness Training Center offer your troops?
That's a great question. This training here at the Joint Readiness Training Center is the first opportunity for the Raider Brigade Combat Team to be able to conduct multi-echelon training from individual soldier to the rifle squad, all the way up to brigade collective level training with all 6 battalions and all separate companies that are attached.
From what you've seen so far, sir, what is your assessment of the training your soldiers have received at JRTC up to this point?
Well, I'm very pleased and confident with what we've been able to accomplish to date. As you know, 4-2 was accelerated back in 1 February. We received official announcement that 4-2 Stryker Brigade would deploy early in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom. From the point of notification for the brigade, we immediately started our training cycle after we came out of reset operations within the ARVIGEN cycle. What we did at that point, we started our individual training and moved on up into squad. And to date, we've been successful and we're able to complete platoon certifications, platoon live fires across the entire brigade footprint. We've also had some company level training, and we've also integrated some multi-echelon training both at the battalion and the brigade, but that was limited in scope, and the majority of that was in a simulated environment, in the digital environment, computer exercises, etc. JRTC is the first opportunity where we as an entire brigade combat team have been able to employ our combat team in force in a tactical environment with simulated and replicated effects that we're going to face in Iraq.
Sir, how do you expect your soldiers to perform in the upcoming force-on-force exercise?
We're excited. The force-on-force will follow an extensive period of situational training exercises for all of the companies within the brigade combat team, and it will give every one of my companies an opportunity to refine and hone their skills in a counterinsurgency environment that much like we'll face in Iraq. And JRTC provides enormous amount of training enablers that we would never ever be able to replicate at Fort Lewis, Washington. That's why this is a fantastic event. That being said, once we enter force on force, all of my companies will be certified and they will be ready, and we will apply all the lessons from platoon to company, both here at the Joint Readiness Training Center and home station, and the force on force, which once that begins, it replicates the conditions that our soldiers will face in Iraq. And JRTC has given me a wonderful opportunity to shape our training exercise based off the information that I received on my previous reconnaissance in Iraq.
As you know, sir, 2009 is the year of the NCO. Can you explain the contributions that seasoned NCOs provide for the training, mentorship, and leadership of units in your brigade?
Well, I'm very fortunate. You mentioned the word seasoned NCOs. The Raider Brigade has over 2,500 veterans in this brigade combat team. 2,000 of those veterans are veterans of the 4th Brigade who from Operation Iraqi Freedom, who participated in the surge, who initially gained a foothold in Iraq and secured momentum for successful operations in Iraq. In my organization, out of those 2,000 veterans, the majority of them are many of the NCOs, the core talent within my brigade that I'm leveraging for the ability to execute safely and successfully in Iraq. And those soldiers, those NCOs, have carried this brigade through our shortened training cycle and into JRTC.
So the climate in Louisiana is a factor for training. What are some key safety concerns that soldiers should know here at JRTC?
Well, that was identified early on. Every Army leader, both NCO and officer, conduct routine risk assessments, and that was one of our highest risks, was coming from the climate of Fort Lewis, Washington, where it was approximately 70 degrees when we left, limited little humidity. We came down here, the temperatures that we're operating in now are 90+ degrees on a daily basis with 90+ humidity. That being said, weather-related injuries was of a primary concern of all of the leaders in the brigade, and to date we've done very well. We emphasize hydration, we emphasize accountability, which is that's how you remain successful in buddy teams. No Raiders are allowed to go anywhere within the brigade area of operations unless they have a Raider buddy in case someone has a heat-related injury, so we can protect them and take care of them.
Sir, how important is the FRG to the mission of the Raider Brigade?
It's vital, and I put an enormous emphasis in our brigade combat team on family readiness and family support. and that is matched equally by our community of Lakewood at home, our community connector, and Fort Lewis, Washington. We have a fantastic installation who support our soldiers and our families. And when we were resetting this brigade combat team, we immediately built a family readiness group campaign across all battalions and across the brigade, focused on getting our families ready. The installation has also supported that, and they've created a expo back at Fort Lewis, Washington, that is helping our families. And I'm confident that with the support of the installation, the support of our community, and the support of our families and the involvement of our families, we are able to build a quality team, a cohesive team that can support and self-sustain them while we are deployed to Iraq.
Sir, do you have an FRG message for families back home?
Yes, I want to say thank you to all of our family members back home at Fort Lewis, Washington. I thank you for your sacrifices and your continued support. We have a great team. We have a wonderful climate, and the success of the Raiders is not isolated to just the uniform. The success of the Raiders encompasses everybody, to include all of our family members. We are one Army family.
Sir, is there anything else you would like to add?
Well, I'd like to tell everybody back home the Raider Brigade is doing great so far. I'm impressed with the performance. I'm impressed with the motivation, the enthusiasm, and the excitement. We are ready to get after it. All of our equipment is here. All of our personnel are here, and we're set up, and we're getting ready to begin our situational training exercises leading into our force-on-force, and confident that the training here will ensure that we are truly, in fact, ready for Operation Iraqi Freedom.